All right. So let me. All right. Perfect. So yeah, thank you for
Oh,
joining me today. I just wanted to jump on with some of my customers, and in particular, customers that have come back. So not their first order, their second, third, fourth order.
yeah.
And what I really wanted to know is just hear a little bit about yourself, where you're based, and just a little bit about your story, in particular,
Oh,
your story with paint pens.
okay. I'm actually deafblind,
Okay.
and I was working previously in forensic medicine. I had a huge change of career through COVID, and one of my kids brought me some paint by numbers thing, and I thought, oh, whatever. And then I did that for a bit, and then I did a certificate for visual art with support with my Auslan interpreters.
Yep.
And part of that was you had to create your own work. And I looked at different types of paint, and I had the old awful plastic pens. Sorry, I can say that.
All
The
right. No, no, no.
other
Please
pens that aren't.
bring up other brands that you've tried. Keep going.
Yeah, I've tried the Posca pens, and I've tried the ones from Officeworks, and I've tried the different ones. And then something, because Google's always listening to you online, this ad for paint your Surfpaints came up. Well, I'll give that a go. So I did that, and I'm just trying to think if I can. How do I turn my screen around? I don't know how to do this. I want to show you some of my work that I did. My first piece. I don't know how to do this. How do
Um,
I get my screen
so
and
you're
turn it
obviously
around?
on your mobile phone, hey?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Um, you might have to just like film it, like
Oh, okay. I'll turn
just
it
grab
around.
it, just film it like this
All
and be on
right.
the camera
Okay.
for a bit, and then I'll talk to you if you're not
All
filming.
right. All right. So if you can see the nice bright one, can you see the nice bright one at the
Yes,
bottom?
yes, yes.
Okay, that's the first one I did with your paint, and I was absolutely gobsmacked how great they were and how really beautiful it turned out.
Yeah, that's
And
awesome.
then I thought, yes, so this is the next piece I'm working on here. This
Yep,
is my spiritual warfare piece, and I'm
yep.
in the middle of doing this at the moment. That's good versus evil because I'm deafblind. I work on large canvases, so that's my main thing. So the next thing I did was last year I decided to do Picasso's Guernica, which is this one, which is
Wow.
a 6 foot by 4 foot piece. Um, yeah, that was my take on the Guernica. And then somebody said, "Oh, that's lovely," and I said, "Yeah, that's mine." They said, "Oh, did you want to sell one?" So I did, the Aldi same but different brand, same different. The
Yep.
catchphrase for Aldi.
Yeah.
So I then did,
Ha.
that's I see you'll see in that one, and then there's another piece on this side, the fourth piece there. So they're actually for sale. So I've got another four of those services.
Yep.
Um, yeah, I've done what else have I done? Oh, I've done some other rock scouting stuff. I've just in the corner, and then um, the big one is that's a pointillism. The That's a pointillism. That's so close up. So at your distance, it looks like a painting, but close up, sorry, it's actually just dots. It's just
Wow.
dots.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Did you,
Thanks.
so did you have
Sorry.
experience with art in the past, or is this?
No, no, I've been a scientist. I've been a scientist, forensic scientist. I haven't done anything. My sister's a creative one.
Yeah.
And then when COVID happened and lost the job, and I was going to do interpreting, but I couldn't get into the uni. They locked everybody out, and so I bugger it. And then my son said, "Oh no, well, I'll get you some paint to do some painting." And I started to paint by numbers. I thought, "Oh, that was nice." And then when
Yeah.
I got into the certificate at Tate, that was really interesting. Oh, and this is my next one I'm working on. Sorry,
It's all right.
I'm in the middle of working on that. You see that?
Yeah. That looks nice.
Yeah.
Did you
Thank
put?
you. That's my, sorry about that. I've been offered a solo exhibition
Yeah.
here. I'm now working as an in-house artist for Artisans of Australia. And there's a group of, there's about 8 of us that not live here, but we've got studios. And the gallery owner has offered me for next year a solo exhibition of my work. So I've got about 20 pieces of work that I'm, large canvases, obviously the Guernicas and spiritual warfare. And that's one I'm working at the moment is, it's actually going to be entitled Being Present, Not Perfect, because I'm obviously not perfect because I'm deafblind, and that image of the woman with her skin off and the underneath showing is, stripping away the outer circle, the outer parts of me and showing who I am really. So your paints were wonderful. I've got them up.
Oh wow, you've got quite a few.
Oh, I keep running out. Yeah, I keep running out.
How long do you think the pens last actually? That because it'd be interesting to hear from you. Like if you were painting, you've just showed us so many different sized canvases.
Yeah.
How long do they last?
Well, I bought, oh God, I keep buying them. The black, I use black a lot, obviously, for outlining everything.
Yeah.
So the first Guernica, I went through one set of your pastels, take your pastels, your black.
But do you have a good reference for us? Like how long did that last? Like have you got a painting inside that room that you could tell me how long one color lasts for?
It would have been 6 months because I worked on the Guernica. I worked on the big, the other piece, that bright one at uni, at college last year.
Yeah.
And I just, that one black lasted that. Then I started with the same black on the Guernica. So that lasted, would have lasted, 6 to 12 months. I've only just started another black today.
Wow.
Black today. Yeah. It's lasts a lot. My problem is because I can't see very well, I damage the tip because usually pressure is not bad, but I'm getting in, so I'm push up the window. The tip, because my canvases, I haven't gessoed them. They're a bit rough. So that actually damages the tip because it's a bit rough. So that's my issue, not yours. That's a me problem, not a you problem.
What have you done? That's a good thing that you brought up then, and thank you for that. So you reckon it lasts about 6 to 12 months, and that's continuously using it on those canvases. Wow, that's quite a long time. That's good.
Well, I'm very gentle with what I do. The depends on which canvases I've purchased it from. ZART, Z-A-R, so Z-A-R-T art canvases are actually completed and sanded back. The one I've got that I'm using, a couple of others that I've bought locally from like the $2 shop or whatever, they're really rough and they actually damage the nib of the pen. But the ZART art canvases and the Montmartre canvases, they're actually really good. The more you pay, the better the quality, obviously. But the cheaper ones are, good. This one I've just purchased $55 for it's already been framed. But that's actually quite rough. I should have sanded it back first, so that would be. I haven't started on the skateboards and I haven't done a surfboard. I do live on the Bellarine Peninsula in Victoria, which is on the beach. So I actually live on the beach, past Geelong. So it is a lot, beautiful area. And I take references, as you can see from my background, my birds that I see are pastels that I use. And acrylic, pastel and watercolor and charcoal. So that's my other, if I wanted to make money, I have to sell my, artwork. But the paint, your paint, absolutely superior. And I'm not just saying that because you're going to give me $100 voucher. I don't buy, I would not consider using I have got another. I have got a like a, what's this one? This one is like a Born. You know, there's an office work one,
Yeah.
and the colour is nothing compared to what your
Yeah.
painting.
That's
It's
it.
amazing. Where did you discover it?
So Japan, they're made in Japan,
Yeah,
and that's the
I know
difference.
they're amazing.
What you just showed, pen from Bourne. So they're the Office Works label, just
Yes,
like
they
the
are.
Works
Yeah, the
label,
office. Yeah,
Coles label, they
the
Amazon
Oscar
labels.
piece from
Yeah.
yeah,
So the difference between products like that is they're made in China, most likely, and they're very cheap,
yeah,
kind of watery, not much
yeah,
acrylic. The
yeah,
the manufacturing process, they didn't put as much time and effort to get it to be that perfect formula, like a Coca-Cola, like get that perfect formula.
yeah,
So what happened up just quickly, the story was I painted surfboards growing up and I noticed there was not many products or there was not many products
yeah,
specific to surfboards. You had to get spray cans. You had to go to Office Works and get cheap supplies
yeah,
like that.
yeah,
And so I just found like that there was a bit of a gap and I was like, well, we got to get something out there. And then I started with Chinese samples like that pen you just showed me. And I just tested probably
yeah,
20 of them. And I said, I just can't put this out to the market. It's just not good enough. And then luckily I was able to go into Japan and the Japanese just standards are so high. Anything they make is very high quality. And fortunately, they were able to work with me and we created a blend specific for fiberglass, which is quite a hard surface to work with. If you work with glass, it's quite slippery. You have to get it right, the adhesion right. So maybe a light sand or a buffer with like a scour pad. And then, anyways, once we got the formula, I brought it to market, and we were very heavy surfing market. But then,
yeah,
luckily, through Facebook advertising, which you mentioned, you saw us, is we're
yeah,
getting all these artists and schools and local councils hitting us up saying, "Hey, we want to do like a skateboard workshop," or "Hey, we've got all these rocks. We
yeah,
want to paint these rocks at the market. I know your paints are for surfboards, but will they work on this?" And we're like, "Yeah, of course." And then that's made us go, well, hang on, like I think we need to open this quality pen up to the market and see what they reckon. And then that's been the result of us in the last kind of 12 to 24 months is we're attracting customers like yourself that are just passionate
yeah,
artists that want good quality products for their work, because if they use the Office Works, it's just going to let them down from all that time and all that. So yeah.
yeah. Well, the fact that I'd finished my journey for art impression and somebody walked in and went, "Wow, are you selling it? I love the colour." And
Wow.
that's two coats, by the way, on that, and two coats on the 4 panels.
Yeah.
And so I redid the 4 panels. So the big ones I started in November last year, which took me about 6 months.
Yeah.
And then I started the 4 panels back in April when I moved
Yeah.
into the here. And I had to work on it at home because they're pieces, they're big, 5 foot tall, they're very big canvases. I have to work.
Yeah.
I've marked them up at home on the kitchen bench and I bring them here. I've got my two easels to put them on. And then people, we've got lots of traffic that come through. There's a coffee shop and, there's like if you have a look out the thing, there's different, there's a few artists in
Yeah.
little
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
studios. So we get a lot of traffic now coming up to the border. We've only been here since April. And so people walk around their park and they come and walk around, the doors open, they'll come and they'll stick their nose in and they go, "Oh, yes, I like that. You give them a card." Or you want to do, one of my neighbours asked for abstract piece and I did a piece for her. She saw my work, so just creating work. If I had surfboards and skateboards, I'm sure I would sell them because this is a surf area that I live on as a coast. But I haven't actually done that because I've been too busy
Yeah.
creating all this
What surfaces
so
do
fast
you
because I've got to get.
what
And,
surfaces do you paint on? Like I can see you use canvas. Is there any other surfaces?
I've got canvas. I've got Oh, I've actually wanted to. I asked the owner if I could paint on the window, and she said, "Oh, well, is it going to come off?" Because I've got this for 2 years, and I don't know whether or not. Because I would just cut on my window. I would
It
paint my
will.
window.
So if you use these on glass,
Yeah,
you can get
yeah.
it off because glass,
How?
yeah, because glass is like a surfboard. So it's like the surface is non-porous.
Yeah.
So the paint can't seep into it. So it stays on the glass layer. The only way to make it permanent is you've got to apply a varnish. So
Yeah.
therefore, if you wanted to get it off, you can use things like window cleaner will get it off.
Oh, okay, cool.
And
Not the
acetone.
scraper. You provided a scraper.
We got a scraper,
You
so that's
provided
that
that
will
one. You
help.
provided a scraper.
Yeah. But yeah, surfaces like glass, you can remove them. Like if you leave them on for a
Oh,
long
good.
time, you might get a bit of a like sticking
Yeah.
residual outline color. But unless you
Yeah.
put a varnish on non-porous surfaces, they can be removed. Um,
Oh, cool.
so yeah, because we got cafe owners that use them to do their menus and do some art on the
Yeah.
glass. They remove it all the time.
Well, my husband is a commercial songwriter and
Ah,
maker and artist. So he's a commercial. He's got a factory and he's had it for nearly 40 years. And I introduced him to these. He has his own printers. He does his billboards and stuff. So he
yeah,
hasn't used it, but he has had a play with these, and he's very impressed from a commercial side. But he hasn't been using them because he only does handwriting about once a week, like bespoke for customers. They've got a fruit stall, and he does the fruit stall advertising and
yeah.
following in. But he doesn't use these; he uses other. But he has had a look at them and had a test, and he said they're really good quality. So he's impressed with that as well. So at the moment, I've used them on. I actually used them. I've been testing a watercolor paper. I've got pastel matte paper, which is
Okay.
for pastels, and I'm just trying out on different surfaces because you can actually wet the paper, the wet pastel matte, and you can blend it in that way if you wanted to do it. So I haven't. That was my next experiment. I've got to get things ready for my solo exhibition. I've got to get like 20 pieces
Sound like you're pretty
ready.
busy.
So that's what I'm. Yeah, just getting out. I just these pens. The fact that these paints is just the fact I've got it, and I'm not going to stop using it because the quality over the others that I've tried is amazing. It really is. The brightness, and if I use the the fluoro,
Yeah, yeah.
if I use the fluoro ones, they just like bang, absolutely amazing. They really stand out, especially in the gallery. So for that big one I've got on the floor, that is graded one, that so
It,
bright it pops out. It's just lovely.
it's funny you say that the fluoro pink. I was interviewing or having a chat with one of our customers yesterday who's up in Nimbin and he does kind of, yeah, that one.
Yeah.
He does similar, kind of a similar story to yourself. You know, he loves creating. He has sold art pieces before, but I asked him, I go, what was it that made you attracted to surf paints? Because there's other products out there. And he goes, well, it was my ads. He said he saw it everywhere. He saw people using it. He said, I thought I may as well give it a go. But then he also told me, he goes, it was actually the fluoro pink that I've never seen a color like this. It's hard to get from other stores. And he
Yeah.
goes, it was actually this one particular color that attracted him. And then he had a art piece similar to what you showed me at the start of the video with the fluoros.
Yeah.
And he was like, once I tried the fluoros, I was like, wow. And then fortunately, that's what hooked him in. And now he tries all the colors. And it's good to hear that
Yeah.
you've said the same thing.
Yeah. I would like to do a few more fluoro pieces in a set of 3 or 4, like a big stitch and 6 stitch
Yep.
theme,
Yep.
in the style of, say, Impressionism, where you've got, pink sky or orange trees or,
Yep.
brown sun. I'd like to do it that way, but you've only got 3 or 4 fluoro colours, and what's that many have you?
We've got,
In
yeah,
your range of fluoro.
we've got a, yeah, we
You've
got,
got pink, green, orange, yellow. And
Yes,
that's about it, isn't it? Yeah, I
that's
was
it.
hoping you might do some more.
Well, we got purple coming out and blue, fluoro
Oh,
blue and
okay,
fluoro violet. Yeah,
excellent.
so
That's
that'll be out
because
soon.
yeah, because if that's the case, then I could start a series of impressionism
Yep.
paintings with fluoro, and that would just be look amazing, especially on large canvases. Because
Well,
it's not everyone's cup of tea, but it would
yeah.
be really great to if you commercially hire out your artwork to galleries and businesses, they can often have commercial artwork.
Well,
Something I was looking at doing.
while we're on that topic, actually, that's very good that you brought that up. What if you could say what's some things that you would like to see Surf Paints come out with in terms of products or even something else that comes to mind? Um, what would you suggest as an artist yourself?
Okay. Obviously, more range in fluoro for people. I'm involved with Vision Australia, and a lot of people with low vision have that. I use bright colours because of my vision issues. That's the main thing. So having a range of
Yep.
really bright fluoro to begin with.
Yep.
Your pastel, if you could extend your pastel range, it would
Yep.
be good, and also your metallic range, metallic.
Yep.
I really prefer the metallic because they get you can create more edgy work, if that makes sense. Like you want to do a cover for a band, one of my boys is a musician and he's a producer of heavy metal bands, and to
Yep.
produce a label cover using metallic paint as their logo would be really great. So if you could just extend the range of metallics, that would
Yep.
be nice. So
Okay.
that would attract a different, I suppose. I mean, people use the computers and do it graphically, but there's nothing better than actually having a piece in front of you that has been hand done by
Yes.
someone, because it means a lot more than
Yes.
a computer program.
Yes.
My husband does that at the graphic designing on computer and prints it out, but it's not the same as in getting the old brush and paint out and doing something bespoke for the customer. So he would paint on an old car, like the car club. He does the whole painting, so and that means a lot.
Yeah.
So for the younger people who have never experienced hand drawn things and stuff that is from the heart, that would mean a lot for somebody. I mean, the surfboards are the same because that's done by hand, and
Yeah.
that means a lot for someone because it's their baby. I mean, I know we used to,
Totally
surf when
agree.
we were younger,
Totally
surfing when we were
agree.
younger.
That's actually
But I
how
don't.
that's how I started and got into this art industry, because I used to be a teacher before this, and I
Oh, okay.
exactly what you just said is, we'd get these white surfboards and then
Yeah.
it just felt like a stock standard board that everyone else had. There was no connection. It was just,
Individuality.
yeah, there was no individuality. It was just surf it, and that was hard to explain, but it was internal. You felt like, it's just like whatever, throw it in the car. But then, as soon as you put a bit of color on it, for me anyway, nothing even. I didn't even wasn't even a good drawer. I just loved painting my boards colorful and different, and then you put that under your arm when you're walking down to the beach, and then that feeling inside of like, it's mine now, it's different, and I've done it. Like, that's the feeling I first started getting with art. I was like that connection of, proud,
I had
different.
a swallowtail surfboard and the rudder underneath and the swallowtail, just making it different, even a different colour, so it's yours when you come
Yes,
up.
absolutely.
you know, it's yours because everyone else got the same board. So, but I don't do that anymore because obviously my injury and stuff, I take my hearing aids out, I can't, it's not the same anymore. So, and it's different now, changed a lot. But I'm happy to do this. Now, I'm happy to watch my kids go off if I want to surf. I'm happy to, sit at the beach and paddle or whatever. But contributing to art especially people who've got a passion for the surfboards and skateboards, and making the design creative for them.
Yeah.
If they want an idea, but they don't know how to put it on the board, there is no right or wrong in art, it just is. And that's what I wrote to you before,
And
you
then
know, there is no wrong or right. It just is.
on that, I'd like to ask a question is, yes, I agree with everything you said, but then bringing it back to the brand Surfpaints, why has Surfpaints able to fulfill that dream of, you know, creating and either giving it to customers or doing it for yourself? But why did Surfpaints help in that situation? And how did that achieve that goal of creating and having that feeling of, you know, individuality and satisfaction?
Yeah. I suppose the quality, it comes down to quality.
Quality.
I tried paint by numbers, and that was just got that.
Yep.
And then I, you know, moved on to the brand paint at the uni. That's what they gave us at school,
Yep.
course, and that was just crappy stuff from Kmart or whatever it is, whatever
Yep.
they had. And then going through the office experience came up round, and then discovering yours, and it's just I'm not sure it's the pigmentation, but the actual colour. And because I'm vision impaired, the colour just stood out so bright. And the way it went on the canvas, the texture however it was made, the
Yep.
formula, I suppose. And it's just so much easier.
Yep.
Like it's really easy to apply. Whereas if I get, you know, one of these, if I get these, I've got to go over it like 3 or 4 or 5 times to get the same. There's no depth of colour. Whereas yours is just like, wow. I went over it once, and then I decided to, you know, make it really pop, and I went over it again, you know, so I make it time to go over it a second time.
Yeah.
And then it really stands out. And if it's the fluoro one, that's only one coat of the fluoro. If I went over it again, it would be really bright again. So I suppose in what you're asking, quality,
Yep.
your formula of how you make your paint,
yep.
and the ease of application to the for me, for my painting, it takes so much less time than it would to
Yes.
get a brush and using
Yes.
the paint, and yeah, it's just so much easier. And it almost feels like you're cheating because it goes on so quickly and so well. And you think, oh, I feel like I'm cheating because I'm using a pen and not using a paint, but it's actually paint. And once you get over that, it's not cheating, it's actually paint, and you're doing a really nice painting. And it's so quick.
Yeah.
That's the thing, the quickness, you know, the speed of actually painting rather than having to, you know.
Did you find did it dry out quickly?
I beg your pardon?
Did you find it dried quickly when you were painting?
Yes, yeah. The other ones I would get, you know, paint on my hands, something else.
Yeah.
But this one, along with that camera, and I actually have a hairdryer if I need to, and I can hair dry over it very quickly. But no, they dry very quickly. They're really ease of use. It really is for somebody, you know. And everyone said, "Oh, but you're creating so much work," and I thought, you have no idea how easy it is because I've got the best paint to use because I'm not using crappy paint. It's quality over quantity, and the quality of the ink or the paint is really good.
Did you find other paint pens have an odor compared to this one?
Yeah, I can't use oil because of the smell, so I can use these. These are not a problem.
No smell.
Yeah, and the others are pretty horrible. Yeah.
Yep.
And now the nibs, I didn't realise you could change the nibs over. I spent the last 12 months not realising you could pull the nib out and turn it over.
Yeah,
I have no idea.
Well, this one's got paint on it, but you can take them out and twist them around. But just be careful on the other side. They can wear out a little bit quicker on the other side because they're not as robust as the original side.
Yeah.
But
especially if you're using rough canvas, which is what I'm using. So some of the canvases aren't, but they're stretched and they're not stretched properly. It's just
all right, well, but that was fantastic. Thank you so much for that feedback. Like you can just tell you can tell you're a very passionate and happy person, like with what you're doing, and I appreciate everything you said.
Than working with.
Everything you said was just the dream customer. You know, you touched on everything that we've been trying to improve and get out there, and then we do a lot of marketing, but I think what we're going to try to do is, talk to customers like yourself to get them to say it,
Yeah,
not us,
yeah.
because you
No,
can just
okay.
get within your art studio and you
Yeah, with my
got the
lovely
experience.
work behind me, my
Yeah,
paintings. And because I'm vision impaired, I have a kicker that's my 10
yeah,
times magnifier that I work with. So with my vision issues, so it's been a joy. It's better than working in forensic research. It's way better.
yeah. And just before we end up, could you just summarize, we talked a lot at the start, kind of your name, where you're based in Australia, what you're doing now, and then any points you want to give a potential customer out there that's, seen one of our ads, seen one of our social media posts and is on the edge and has experience with other
Okay.
brands. So they've already got experience. They're like, why would I try Surfpaints? And then,
Okay. All right. No problem. Okay. So my name is Dr Linet Amalie, and I am retired from my profession. I changed careers during COVID. I started creating artwork and used multiple products until I found about 18 months ago Surfpaint. The quality and texture of the paint is far superior than what I was using that I've been finding to create my artwork, which is
fantastic.
large pieces because I am vision impaired. Yeah, I'm vision impaired and I work on large canvases. I find it really easy to work with as someone with disability. If you're hesitating about using these products, please don't, because the large piece that's in the background, I worked on for 6 months and I used one set of paints and they went a long way. So I can definitely guarantee the quality, the quantity, and the ease of use.
Oh, fantastic. I appreciate that so much. That was
That's
awesome.
it.
That was awesome. You should be on
That's
TV.
okay. If you go to drlinet.com,
Dr. Linet.
DRLINET.com, I have a website and I have 150 videos with a minute with Dr. Linet, raising consciousness of humanity
Oh,
one
wow.
word at a time.
Yep.
And you can look under video.
Yep.
I've got a book, I've got some positive affirmation cards.
Oh,
I'm
wow.
involved in podcasts. Yeah, I'm involved in a podcast. I jump on often a
Yep.
live podcast on once a week or whenever it is. And I'm interviewed a few times because of my work in mental health, forensic mental health. So I
Yes.
used to work with police as a support, I do all the interviews for the police for people who were unwell, like suicidal. And my job was to assess and section and put people in the mental health unit. So it was a really heavy job, working alongside police as a forensic doctor. So
Now